I'm ill this week. Nothing dramatic, just feel run down, low energy, and that slightly foggy feeling where basic things just feel heavier than they should. And this is normally where habits die, not because you've decided to quit, but because the full version suddenly feels unrealistic. Like a 45-minute workout just is too much. Reading 30 minutes just feels like effort, and sitting down to focus on work just feels harder than usual. So most people do one of two things. They either push through at full intensity, which usually lasts about a day, or they tend to skip everything and just tell themselves they'll restart next week. Both approaches break momentum. What I'm doing instead is shrinking the habit, not skipping it, just shrinking it. Instead of a full workout, I'm holding a 60-second plank. Instead of reading 30 minutes a day, I'm just reading one page. That's it. It's not impressive. It won't make a motivational montage or anything like that, but it keeps the behaviour alive. And that's the real goal on bad days. It's not about progression, it's about keeping the momentum. Because the real damage from sick days isn't physical, it's psychological. When you miss a few days in a row, you start telling yourself you've fallen off. Now the habit feels broken. Now it feels like something you have to restart. Now there's friction. But if you shrink the habit instead of abandoning it, there is no reset. There's just a lower setting. And that's completely different experience mentally. Most people only design habits for good days, when you have a high energy and a clear head, plenty of time, strong unbreakable motivation, but that's not real life. Real life includes bad sleep, stress, illness, work overload, kids waking up at 5 a.m. for no clear reason. If your habits only work when conditions are ideal, it's fragile. So instead, build your habits with 3 levels. Level 1 is your minimum, level 2 your standard, and level 3 your optimal. Level 2 is where you normally aim for, level 3 is where you feel great and you want to push yourself, and level 1 is the version you can do when you feel awful. And the rule is simple: you never miss level 1. That's it. You don't negotiate whether to do the habit, you just decide which level today is. Let's make this practical. Step 1: pick one habit that actually matters. Let's say it's training. Define your standard first, maybe it's 45 minutes. Now ask yourself, what is the smallest version of this that still counts? And I mean genuinely small. 60-second plank, 10 push-ups, 5-minute walk, whatever it is. It should feel almost too easy. If you're ill, that even feels impossible, it's still too big. Now define your optimal version. Maybe that's 60 minutes or extra mobility, extra intensity, extra effort, whatever it is. Now you have flexibility within that. On a good day, you push yourself. On an average day, you hit your standard. On a bad day, you protect the minimum. Same with reading. Standard 30 minutes. Minimum 1 page. Optimal for an hour of reading plus making notes on top of that. The identity isn't I read 30 minutes a day, the identity is I read daily. This approach works because consistency shapes identity. Your brain is constantly gathering evidence about who you are. If your pattern is I always find a way, even if it's small, that's because part of how you see yourself. If the pattern is I stop when it's inconvenient, that becomes part of it too. Bad days aren't the problem. Fragile habits are. A fragile habit comes from designing for perfect conditions. There's also something else worth saying. Minimums reduce the resistance. When I'm ill, a 45-minute workout feels overwhelming. My brain immediately starts negotiating. But 60 seconds, there's nothing to negotiate. It's so simple, so small, it removes that intentional debate. And interestingly, sometimes once you start, you'll do more. Sometimes you won't. It doesn't matter. The win is showing up. Long-term consistency isn't built on intensity, it's built on adaptability. The people who last aren't the most extreme, they're the most flexible without lowering their standards completely. They adjust effort, not commitment. So if you're feeling run down right now, don't ask, should I push through or take the week off? What you should be asking yourself is, what's my level 1 version? Protect your behaviour, protect the identity, let the intensity fluctuate. Because if your habits can survive bad days, you'll survive almost anything. And that's when they actually start compounding.